All right, let's do some components. Okay, so again, React doesn't really care about your folder structure. You decide. So I'm going to make a components folder, right? Because our app isn't that big. I can put all my components in here. All right, I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to call it header.tsx. Okay, header.tsx. Okay, typically we want to make the header component. It's the easiest. It's the one at the top. All right, it'll give TypeScript will yell at you, but that's fine. Okay, we're gonna do export function header. Okay, and so this is just our basic header, and we want to return some HTML. So it's really again, you're probably usually just writing HTML. You're not thinking of HTML as the return of a function, but since we're doing React, which is more towards the side of functional programming, we had to think of everything as a function. So we're going to return a header. Okay, we're going to use the header styling tag. I'm going to call this H2 Ice Cream Wars. All right, so now we've got our header function. Now, if you go back to the site, you know it's been updating. So you've probably been thinking, well, Jonathan, I don't see anything. Let me go to the tab. Right, you don't see anything yet, right? It's still that blank screen. Well, you're not going to see anything because we haven't actually added the header tag to the root tag. I'm sorry, the root component. Because the header component needs to actually be placed somewhere in order for us to see it. What you're seeing now is just the root component. So we need to start adding components to it, which is fine. We can do that. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to switch the screen here. All right, let's go back to our app.tsx, which is our root component. Okay, so remember it's like a think of like a Matryoshka doll, like I'm saying it's the one that all the other ones are contained in. So I'm gonna get rid of this div class name equals app. I don't really need it. All right, and so I'm gonna put my component in here, my header component. And it's very simple. Remember we said, if we go back to our header.tsx, we said export function header. So the header component is going to put a bracket here, and do header / bracket, and then I'm going to make sure I import it with quick fix. All right, and there we go. So in line 4, we import header from components header, and we put the header component. Now if we go back to our website, okay, notice how you can see Ice Cream Wars at the top. Okay, that was the component. So now you can see we've taken that component and we've stuck it onto the root component, and now we can see it. All right, and this is what I mean by component-based architectures. We're going to start building components and components, and then we're going to place them on the root component or within other components. Okay, and they're reusable. I can use this header component wherever I feel like, as many times as I feel like. Okay, it's nice because you can write one component and put it on different parts of your app, and you never have to write the same HTML code twice. Okay, so it makes everything nice and do not repeat yourself. And also, it's very great for testing. We'll get into that much later, but like testing, it also is very convenient. All right, well, we made our first component, which is the header component. It's just got it's just got like this header and H2 and all this other good stuff. All right, now what I'm going to do is inside my source folder, I'm going to create a CSS folder. All right, and again, you can do whatever folder structure you feel like when you get to your job. It will depend on what the main dev decided to do for their folder structure. There is no one right way. I'm going to make a header.css. Okay, and this is going to be the CSS file we're going to use for this header component. I'm going to go back to my header component. I'm going to import the CSS file. Import single quotes CSS header.css. All right, that way I will be able to have a CSS file just for the header. Okay, you remember the index.css is going to be for the whole app. Okay, I don't necessarily want to put CSS for the whole app like everywhere. All right, I may want to have like CSS for just like the header. That's what I'm kind of showing. So like you might want to do things a certain way. Now I'm thinking about it, we probably don't need to have one for the header because the only thing it's got is the H2 tag. And I want to make sure all the H2 tags across the site are the same. So let's go ahead and add that. Alrighty, let's head back. I'm going to go, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's add some styling to index.css so it applies to the whole website. All right, so index.css, and then I'm going to do I put some like H2, font family, caveat, font size, 2.5, REM and margin, and you can kind of make this look the way you want it to, however you want. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that looks like. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. If I'm gonna, this will no longer be a thing. Okay. Okay. So basically, the nice thing is if like React sees any problem in your imports or anything, it will not run. So there we go. Ice Cream Wars. All right. Sweet. So you can see we have this font. I think I want to put this in the center. All right. So let's go back to index.css, and then we're going to do text align center. Okay. It will save and update. Okay. There we go. We got Ice Cream Wars right in the center. Okay. So we got our first component. All right. Let's continue on and make another component, which is going to be the add design component, which is going to be a little bit harder. Okay. But at least you're starting to understand like these are what components do. The point of the component is to essentially compartmentalize some functionality within our app so that it's reusable. The index.css is for the whole site. You can also create CSS files for specific components. Again, React doesn't really tell you what to do. You decide what you want to do. Okay, so we made our first component. It's a header at the top of the screen. Let's take a look at it. There we go, Ice Cream Wars. So it's in the middle. It's got that funky font. The caveat, I think it is. Okay, so that way our website will look good. All right, now on the left side, we're going to want to put another component for the ad design. So let's go ahead and do that in the next video.